Top 10 Best Kids Movies. Great kids movie is a beautiful and rare thing. Netflix's catalog of children and family movies ranges from terrible to fantastic, and the following guide is meant to help you avoid the former. But we also tried to point out some less obvious options, as well, including films from around the world. There are superheroes and, of course, plenty of cuddly anthropomorphic animals. Paddington. The first Paddington, released in 2014, was emotionally prophetic in its illustration of the hokey moral panic wrought by xenophobes. Paddington arrives in London from the forests of darkest Peru. He stands upon his suitcase, scruffy and innocent. Around his neck is a tag that says, "Please look after this bear." The ways in which the commuters of Paddington Station ignore the bear could be written off as generic selfishness. But outsiders and the impoverished are deliberately ignored in metro areas, a point accentuated by Mr. Brown's claim of stranger danger. Still, Mrs. Brown's gentle heart leads the family to quasi-adopt Paddington, their lives enriched by the bear's earnestness and genuine desire to be part of their lives. Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda isn't just a good movie, it's a good kung fu movie. All of the classical elements are there: an obnoxious pupil who becomes a fighting machine. A team of, literally, animal-based martial artists with varying styles. It's a funny, vibrant film as easily enjoyed by children as adults, and one that the adult viewers should feel no embarrassment for enjoying as much as they do. Despicable Me. It's legitimately detrimental to the health of young children. The original Despicable Me shines best by flattening the dichotomy between good guys and bad guys. Removing all but the most heartstrings-tugging stakes from what would otherwise be a minefield of superhero and spy thriller movie tropes. In the world of career supervillain Gru, good guys are boring state-subsidized bureaucrats. And bad guys aren't all that bad, just ambitious pseudo-scientists with big ideas and healthy competitive natures. ParaNorman. The beautifully crafted stop-motion film ParaNorman opens with two important pieces of information. First, we observe our young hero as he watches a B-zombie flick, complete with choppy edits and a boom mic that creeps its way into the frame. Second, Norman carries on a conversation with his grandmother, Mirai. Our war game was the many times removed story of Hosoda meeting his wife's family for the first time. Wolf Children was inspired by the passing of Hosoda's mother, animated in part by the anxieties and aspirations at the prospect of his own impending parenthood. The Boy and the Beast was completed just after the birth of Hosoda's first child, the product of his own questions as to what role a father should play in the life of his son. Mirai, the director's seventh film, is not from Hosoda's own experience, but filtered through the experiences of his firstborn son meeting his baby sibling for the first time. The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Animated generational divides have never been more like a sci-fi carnival than in The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Writer/director Mike Riandes. He and co-writer/director Jeff Rowe made their bones on the excellently spooky, silly show Gravity Falls, is equal parts absurd, endearing and terrifying. It's easy to feel as lost or overwhelmed by the flashing lights and exhilarating sights as the central family fighting on one side of the title's grudge match, but it's equally easy to come away with the exhausted glee of a long, weary theme park outing's aftermath. Its genre-embedded family bursts through every messy, jam-packed frame like they're trying to escape. And in the process create the most energetic, endearing animated comedy so far this year. Despicable Me 2. Upon its arrival in 2010, the first Despicable Me combined Bronze Age Disney, cute, precocious children and goofy sidekicks, with a dose of over-the-top sci-fun. That owed less to the reality-tethered, if tenuously so, superhero science of The Incredibles than to the freed-from-physics antics of Marvin the Martian, Spy vs. Spy and Inspector Gadget. Ultimately, Despicable Me weighed in more as harmless, low-calorie animated fun than insta-classic family fare. Former archvillain Gru, voiced by Steve Carell, has abandoned his efforts to bring the world to its knees in favor of a task even more daunting, raising the 3 young girls he acquired in the first film. Lou Over the Wall. Distributor Kids sells Lou Over the Wall as family-friendly, which it is, an innocuous, offbeat alternative to the conventional computer-animated joints typically found in modern multiplexes. Barely a moment goes by where we come close to touching base with reality, even its most human beats. Those precious hints of relatable qualities that encourage our empathy are elongated, distorted, rendered nigh unrecognizable by exaggeration. Lou Over the Wall isn't a movie that takes itself seriously, and for the average moviegoer, that's very much a trait worth embracing. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Few children's authors have been sourced by Hollywood more than Roald Dahl. But despite over a dozen efforts at bringing his books to the big screen, none is more memorable than the original Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder. Based on his 1964 novel, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Mel Stewart's imagining follows poor young Charlie Bucket, Peter Ostrom, from his paper route, to his golden ticket. To the fantastical factory filled with Oompa Loompas and dangerous inventions from the mind of the eccentric Candy Baron. Lupin III. The Castle of Cagliostro. The nature of Miyazaki's oeuvre is such that it brims with an embarrassment of riches. Each film in its own part situated indelibly into the continuum that is the anime canon. His films garner so much acclaim for their visual storytelling and emotional virtuosity that even those few that could be considered his worst movies still rank leagues above those animators who only aspire to his status. Thank you for watching. I hope you gained some useful information from this video. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.